Aries. The real care today has a boundary, not an excuse. The threshold is low but real. One step on a fatigue that asks to be respected is enough to stop everything from running on reflex. The sun's light on the home root's emotional base area is not making allowances. It shows where you are leading and where you are being led. This is real maintenance. Less heroics, more intelligence in protecting what keeps you clear. Practical care is low on drama and high on impact. Turn the noise down before it turns into command. For Aries, winning does not mean moving first. It means not letting impulse buy you. The risk is making it to evening functioning on the outside while your decisions are already drained on the inside. If you keep forcing a fatigue that asks to be respected, the price can show up as the wrong tone, an impulsive reply, or exhaustion steering everything. Move. Protect recovery with a visible boundary, not a mental promise. Save it before you answer from the part of you that has had enough. Taurus. Before you accept a vague number, look at what you are trying not to feel. Venus is stirring resources, money, and value. This choice cannot stay on autopilot. It is the number set halfway, the estimate left fuzzy, the bill that looks small until it becomes yours. Saying fine feels elegant. The problem is that you end up paying for it later. The bill does not arrive shouting. It arrives when you pay to avoid one conversation. For Taurus, the risk is not resistance. It is staying still even after calm has become the price. If you have to guess the cost, someone is already shifting the weight onto you. Are you asking for clarity? Or tame so you do not seem difficult? Read the number again. Read the promise again. Read the real cost. Confirm only what stays clean. Then confirm it. But first, see the number, the promise, and the cost, without fog. Move, ask for the exact figure and the exact scope before you agree. Tomorrow you will need to have seen number, promise, and cost in the same place. Gemini. The day is not asking for theatrical courage. It is asking for a verifiable act. You have two exits in front of you. One softens the moment, the other finally gives shape to the knot. Venus is highlighting value across the identity-body-presence axis. What attracts you must also leave room for your shape. It is the open file, the postponed reply, the point that is waiting only for action. The block loses power when you stop treating it like prudence and start treating it like a choice. The stakes are using pressure to decide, not to build a more polished version of delay. For Gemini, clarity only counts if it drops from the head and lands in a concrete direction. If you do not touch a block that asks for method, the day passes and the problem keeps its throne. Move, do not negotiate with the block all day. At most, give it time to be named. Come back here before you choose the easier door again. Cancer. Do not miss an opening that needs checking right away. It looks small, but it can move the day. This is where what matters gets tested. An opening that needs checking right away challenges the version of you are trying to keep standing. The sun's transit brings the identity-body-presence axis into focus. You need a choice you can actually hold. It is a half-open door, a possible answer, an invitation not to postpone again. For Cancer, the right kind of care today also includes the boundary that keeps you whole. Real openings rarely show up twice with the same clarity. This one should be treated as living time. The stakes are not about winning immediately. They are about not letting a door pass that will not stay open. If you do not give shape to the real possibility, tomorrow you may remember it as a signal, not a choice. Move. Choose where the opening is most real, and give it a minimal form now so it cannot evaporate. Replay it when the good moment starts feeling too small to deserve courage. Leo. For Leo, recovery today is not escape. It is maintenance for your clarity. Picture the final scene of the day. Do you want a body that no longer wants to negotiate still in the room? Or a response that leaves you more whole? With the sun on the rest closure inner preparation area, the scene is visible now. You can no longer treat it like background noise. This is a day that can stay strong on the outside, but it asks you not to spend your last margin as if it were endless. The tired part does not need to be silenced. Inside a body that no longer wants to negotiate, it is pointing to where you need more measure. For Leo, the center is not defended by making a scene, but by choosing cleanly. If you recover first, you choose better later. Today, the pause is part of the strategy. Unprocessed tiredness does not disappear. It becomes tone, choice, and the wrong response. Move. Protect recovery with a visible boundary, not a mental promise. Replay it before you force what is asking for measure. Virgo. Today, the shadow does not perform. It hides inside the sentence you keep repeating to yourself. First image. A point that no longer wants to stay silent enters the scene without asking permission, and the rest of the day has to react. With Venus in play, the identity-body-presence axis does not want a quick fairy tale. It wants an agreement that does not drain you. Useful truth does not humiliate you. It cuts the long way around and leaves the real reason visible. It is the kind of truth that makes no noise outside, but changes the weight of the room as soon as you stop avoiding it. For Virgo, the right order today is the one that unlocks things, not the one that keeps you stuck in place. The stake is not letting an old defense take the place of a present-day choice. The part of you that controls everything can win the scene and lose the truth. Move. Write the naked version of the problem, then strip out the rhetoric that made it tolerable. Save it before you turn a wound into a strategy. Libra. The turning point does not arrive when everything is clear. It arrives when you stop circling. It is the open file, the postponed reply, the point that is waiting only for action. Stay on the first layer. An operational knot to untie takes shape when you stop scattering your attention. The sun is illuminating the career role public direction axis. What was peripheral now wants center stage and responsibility. As long as you keep watching, an operational knot looks bigger. The moment you choose the first step, it loses power. For Libra, the risk is saving the atmosphere and losing the boundary you needed. The risk is not taking a crooked step. It is letting the fixed point keep deciding the tone of everything else. Delaying today may look clean, but it leaves more weight on the version of you that avoids. Move. Do right away what lowers noise and ambiguity, even if it doesn't make you look perfect. Come back here when you want to call stalling prudence. Scorpio. Possibility today does not ask for enthusiasm. It asks for timing. Narrow the field. A margin that can become direction is the point where the day stops being generic. With the sun on the vision travel study axis, what looked like background now has authority and demands an adult answer. This is the moment when something opens, but only if you stop waiting for a guarantee. What helps today does not ask for faith. It asks you to take seriously a margin that can become direction before your mind discounts it. The risk is not failing in a big way. It is letting the good margin slip away through too much respectable waiting. For Scorpio, strength is not confusing control with truth. The subtle loss is delaying just well enough not to feel guilty, but long enough to close the opening. Move. Choose one verifiable step and do it before your mind opens too many exits. Save it before you let a door pass just because it makes no noise. Sagittarius. Today, the sky does not reward waiting for certainty. It rewards giving shape to the first move. Put a door that does not open by itself to the test of reality. Less interpretation, more consequence. With the sun active, the intimacy shared resources transformation field stops being background and becomes the lens for everything else. It is a short, unromantic scene. One answer, one choice, one cut, and the block loses its aura. Pressure becomes an ally when you use it to turn a door that does not open by itself into something verifiable. For Sagittarius, freedom today comes from giving the right point a shape. If you move the right piece, you do not solve everything. You do take delay out of its favorite chair. The risk is protecting your image as a lucid person while the real choice stays still. Move. Do not negotiate with the block all day. At most, give it time to be named. Mark it before you choose the elegant version of stalling again. Capricorn. For Capricorn, power comes from naming the price before the discomfort. The signal does not shout. You see it in the way a small request that widens the bill changes your posture, tone, or pace. Venus is activating the work method health area. Desire, value, and boundary all want a clearer shape. It's a line on the bill that does not show up on the table, but still decides the tone of the conversation. Value becomes real when a small request that widens the bill stops being atmosphere and becomes a declared measure. For Capricorn, the day asks for structure in service of truth, not just endurance. If the cost stays implied, the day usually chooses the price that is easiest for others, not for you. If that boundary stays vague in a polite tone, the price will be decided by whoever pushes hardest. Move. Ask for the figure, the scope, or the detail before you offer emotional availability as an advance. Replay it when the conversation turns polite, just as the cost starts rising. Aquarius. If the clarity that depends on recovery is asking for space, listen before it has to raise its voice. Today you need one simple line. What goes in, what stays out, what you will not carry any further. The sun is bringing the work method health area to the center of the room. Understanding it is not enough. You have to give it direction. It is an inner room that is too full, where the right move is not pushing harder, but removing friction. The tired part is not sabotaging you. Inside clarity that depends on recovery, it is trying to keep the day from consuming you past your limit. Today's real loss would be sacrificing good clarity to protect urgencies that are not all yours. For Aquarius, the day improves when vision stops floating and starts making an impact. If you keep sacrificing that breathing room, the clarity pays before the result does. Move. Choose one concrete form of care, not a promise to recover later. Send it to the part of you that needs to stop proving something today. Pisces. The strongest choice today may look the least dramatic. Venus brings the heat to the foundation. What stays implied now needs precise words. The risk does not shout. It turns into friction while everyone pretends not to notice. It is home. A simple request. A yes given to keep the peace. A threshold nobody names. For Pisces, feeling everything is not enough. If a domestic boundary stays vague, someone else decides its shape. Yielding 1 centimeter can feel loving. Yielding every time becomes an unwritten contract. The problem is not the request. It is the boundary left unsaid. If keeping the room calm means you have to become smaller, that is not peace. It is an emotional tax. The strong move is a boundary spoken softly before the wall. Are you protecting home or buying quiet with a piece of yourself? Write down who does what. Pause. Confirm only what you can hold. Move. Say the boundary before the pressure becomes a wall. Save it before you call destiny what is really just impulse.